Right. So this is our new lesson, which is scale diagrams. Right. So this one is very easy lesson. So this is the last lesson that we have to do, right? So 27th lesson, right? Scale diagrams. So I have given you the tube, right? So this is the tube, and this is the first subtype. Identifying scale diagrams, right? So what is this? We use scale diagrams to draw real objects when we need them to be seen in a presentable manner. Right? Presentable manner. For examples, let us take a real house. Okay, actually, a real house is very big. If you want to draw it, what can you do? If you want to draw the plan of the house, of the real house, what can you do? You can.
So decrease its size?
Yeah, superb. You can decrease the size, right, of the actual length, right? I will come to the board and explain this one. You can decrease the size, right? Or you can decrease the actual length to a small size, right? Then, uh, what can you think about its measurement? So this is the thing, right? Actual sizes are very big, right? Can you directly draw the house using the real measurements like height, length, and width? No, you you do not have enough space to write draw, right? The real length. Right? Right? So that we need a scale system to reduce the real measurements into presentable manner. We need to reduce the real lengths into a small scale. Small length we need to convert. Big length needs to be converted into small length, right? Shall we take another one? Let us take a cancer cell. Right? Can you see a cancer cell to your eye? Right? To your POI. Can you see a cancer cell? Right? You cannot see a cancer cell to your clear eye, right? POI. Right? It is very small, right? But when we need to do any scientific research, right? Now think you are a scientist, right? Now there is an uh, scope, right? Scope, and you are going to zoom it to a cancer cell, right? 1000x, 2000x, 4000x. You are going to zoom, and now you can see a clear cancer cell by using the microscope. Right? Anviksha bhavitakala, you can see, right? By using the microscope, you can see the cancer cell clearly. Right? Because it is a small one thing. You cannot even see. You cannot even see that cancer cell. Now you are going to magnify it. Right? Magnify it and see. Right? So like this, mate. This is a plan of the floor of area of a house. Right? Size has been decreased. Size has been decreased. The map of Sri Lanka size has been decreased. Right? Map of the Sri Lanka is actually very big. We cannot even think how much it big. How much it big. So the map should be decreased. And that is how we are going to refine. And also, right, the cross section of a blood vessel. Right? This is something like a cancer cell, right? This is something like a cancer cell. Right? Can you see a blood vessel? Right? And this is a cross section of a blood vessel. Right? And size has been increased. Right? We are going to magnify. Right? We are going to magnify. Okay? So I will come to the board. Right? Then I am going to uh, explain it here. Right? So you have a rough idea now. So our lesson is scale diagram. Scale diagrams. Right. So very shortly, right? In a simple manner, right? In a simple way, what we are going to do here is we are going to draw any larger image, right? In a representable way by using a scaling system. And we are going to reduce the size. Right? Reduce the size of the house. Like this. Right? And you have a cancer set. Right? This is a small thing. Using the scale system, you are going to magnify it. Increase the size so that we can see it clearly. We can identify it clearly. Right? So, this is something like this. And make ඉරක් වගේ මම දන්නේ cancer cell අඳින්න. So මේ විදිහට තමයි. It has been magnified and this has been reduced. Right? So this is the thing that we are going to do with it. Alright, scale that. Right? Okay. So let's move to the next. Subtitle 1, the scale of a scale diagram. Right? The scale of a scale diagram. What is that? That's subtitle 1. Scale of a scale diagram. Right? So, first of all, let's get to know about the ratios of a scale diagram. Now we are going to use some ratio, right, before going into the scale diagrams, right? Before we are going into drawing scale diagrams, right? We are going to learn something about ratios, how to represent a scale by using a ratio. How to represent a scale by using a ratio. Correct? Right. So I have put a red point, right? We need to use same units, right? We need in your tube, right? Please highlight that, Pudhi. We need to use same units, right? Same units. We need to use same units, right? To represent as a ratio. What does it mean by? Right? And I have tell it to you, keep that in your mind. When you are doing the scale diagram question. When you are doing the scale diagram question, you need to keep that in your mind. You have to use the same units. Same units. So we are using definitely length measurements. When we are considering the length measurements, we have millimeter, centimeter, meters, right? Then kilometers, so on and so forth. If you are using a ratio form, right? Ratio, you know ratio, right? How to write the ratio? 1 to 2. So this is called a ratio. This is called ratio. Both of these sides should be in same unit. Same unit. Right? So look at the board. So for an example, I have given you some space to write it down. Right? For an example, this is the ratio. Right? Don't write. This is the ratio. Right? Hasna, you can write it. Write these things in your book, because I haven't sent you the grade 7 tute ne. So please write rough sketch, roughly liyaga. So sometimes I will start the lesson scale diagram tomorrow in grade 8. Right?
Okay.
So this might help you to remember those things early. Right? Right. Ratio 1 to 2. So there are two sides. There are two sides of a ratio. With left hand side and right hand side. Both of those sides should be in the same unit. That means if this side is centimeter, the other side also should be centimeter. Sorry. For an example, another one, 2 to 3. Right? If this side is in meters, this side also should be in meters. Right? And for an example, if let's say 1 to 100, if this side in millimeters, this side also should be in millimeters. 1 millimeter to 100 millimeter. So, for an example, 2 to 50,000. If this side is in kilometers, this side definitely should be in kilometers too. So that is the meaning, right? We need to use same units to represent as a ratio. Keep that in your mind. Please write this down. Right. When you finish writing, let me know. You can send me D4 done. That is example number 1. Right. So I have given you example. So that example is expressed as a ratio. So I will write it. Right. Example number 1. Right. Example number 1. Right. Express as a ratio. Express as a ratio. The scale of a scale diagram. Right. The scale of a scale diagram when 100 centimeter is represented by 1 centimeter. When 100 centimeters is represented by 1 centimeter. Right? The most important part of this example is this one. 100 centimeter is represented by 1 centimeter. This is the thing that you need to identify. Right? So this is the thing that you need to understand. An important point. Please highlight, and underline this. Right? This is the most important point. Right? Make a danagatta gyanne. Paadama nothing. Right? The lesson is over. Right? Shall we go geland? Right? So 100 centimeter is represented by 1 centimeter. What is the meaning of that? Right? There is a 100 centimeter length. Right? There is a 100 centimeter length. Right? 100 centimeter length. we are going to represent that total 100 centimeters, right? 100 centimeter is equal to 1 meter, eh? 1 meter, okay? That 1 meter, I am going to represent that 1 meter by using 1 centimeter, right? I am going to represent this 100 centimeter by using 1 centimeter. That is the thing, right? So we have to express this as a ratio, right? Before that, I am going to write like this. I am going to write the scale like this. We have now a scale, right? So look at the board, Pudhi. Don't do anything. Right? Scale by using 1 centimeter. By using 1 centimeter, right? We are going to represent. We are going to represent 100 centimeters. 100 centimeters. What does that mean? Right? By using 1 centimeters, we are going to represent a total 1 meter. So this is the scale, right? This is the scale. And how do we write this as a ratio? When you are writing as a ratio, keep that in your mind. What is the point that I gave you earlier? Both sides should be in same unit. Ne? So I am going to write the ratio. Right? So there is a pattern, right? Ratio. How do you write the ratio? 1 by 1 centimeter, we are going to represent 100 centimeters, right? 1 centimeter to 1 meter. Is this correct? Is this correct? Right? 1 centimeter to 1 meter. Is this correct? Uday, Kiana?
Correct.
Huh?
No, sir,
Correct.
incorrect.
Is it wrong or correct?
Wrong.
Okay. Any other answers? Is it wrong or correct? 1 centimeter to
Wrong.
wrong. Right? So this is wrong because this is in centimeters. This is in meters. What did I told you to keep that in your mind? Same units. Right? So that you have to use 1 centimeter to 100 centimeters. Correct. If you are using a ratio, right? So now you can remove centimeter to centimeter, right? You can use just the numbers 1 to 100, right? 1 to 100, right? If you see something like this, right? If you see something, any ratio like this in this under this scale diagram lesson, under this scale diagram lessons, if you see some kind of a ratio like this means 1 centimeter to 100 centimeters, right? Sometimes it might be 1 centimeter to 1000 centimeters. Sometimes it might be 1 centimeter to 1000, then 10,000 centimeters. Sometimes it might be 1 centimeter to 5,000 centimeters. So on and so forth. So please write this scale ratio. So this should be your final answer for the ratio. This is how we are going to represent it by using the ratio format. So please write this quickly and let me know. In example number 2, there is something like this. Express as a ratio the scale of a scale diagram where 3 meter is represented by 2 centimeters. 3 meter is represented by 2 centimeters, right? 3 meters. is represented by 2 centimeters. Correct? So scale. First look at the screen. Look at the board. Right? Now try to catch the pattern that I am teaching. මම උගන්න විදිය අල්ලගන්න බලන්න. Right? There is a pattern. Right? First of all, I am writing the scale. 3 meter is represented by a 2 centimeters. So this is the important thing. Right? 3 meter is represented by 2 centimeters. So that, right, this 2 centimeters should come to the front. Right? By using 2 centimeters, I am going to represent total 3 meters. Right? ලොකු දිගක්. So this is Malli, this is Ayya. Right? Ayya is the bigger one. Right? It should be in your right hand side. Right? Malli, left hand side. Malli, Ayya. Right? Okay. By using 2 centimeters, I am going to represent 3 meters. What is the meaning of that? Can we write this in මෙහෙම මෙන්න මෙහෙම 2 ratio 2 centimeter to 3 meter? Can we write this? අපිට ලියන්න පුළුවන්ද? Vagisha? Is this correct as a ratio? Chenoli, is this correct?
Wrong.
Wrong. Yeah, because
Wrong.
yeah, excellent, super. Because here you have centimeters, here you have meters. So this is wrong, ne? So this is wrong, right? So in this side you have 2 centimeters. How do you convert 3 meters into centimeters? Right? For 1 meter, how many centimeters are there? For 1 meter, how many centimeters are there? Tell me, takka again. What are they? Parat. Irusha. Senula. How do you convert 3 meters into centimeters? Right? How many?
By multiplying by 100.
Sir, multiply by 100.
Yeah. Why are you taking so much time? මාව මේ ලැග් වෙලා දැහෙන්නේ මාව පරක් වෙලා දැහෙන්නේ. Oh, can you hear me? නෑ නේ. ඒකනේ උත්තරේ දාන්න.
That's it.
So 1 meter includes 100 centimeters. Ne? So then 1 meter includes 100 centimeters. So how do you find for 3 meters? Multiply by 3. Ne? 3 meters and this should be multiplied by also 3. 300 centimeters. Correct? So that means here you have 3 meters. Ne? You have to multiply this by 100. 300 centimeters. Right? All right. Now centimeters. Right? So now you can represent it as a ratio. Right? Right? Now you don't need to mention centimeter and centimeter because they are in the same unit. Right? 2 to 300. 2 to 300. Now, is this okay? Now, is this okay? Now, is this finished? Make it no. Can you simplify these two ratios furthermore? Can you simplify these ratios furthermore? තව දුරටත් සුළු කළ හැකිද? Can you simplify?
Yes.
Yes. How do you simplify? 2 to
By dividing by 2.
yeah, both sides you can divide by 2, right? You can divide both sides by 2, right? I am going to divide this side by 2, right? So I will use a separate pen and I am going to divide 300 by 2 as well, right? Because this can be divided by 2, 300 can be divided by 2, right? So 2 times 1 2 times 1. 2 times 1, 300 divided by 2 means 150. Right? 1 to 150. Right? 1 to 150. So now this is the ratio. So now this is the ratio. What is the meaning of that? What is the meaning of this? By using 1 centimeter, we can represent 150 centimeters. Correct? By using 1 centimeter, we can represent 150 centimeters. So, wait a minute, right? 150 centimeters is represented by 1 centimeter. If you want, you can write, but no need to write. So, this is your ratio. So, if you have common terms, you can divide the both sides. So, please write this and let me know. Right? So, what did I told you is, right? Try to understand the way that I am teaching. Right? Here, scale 2 centimeter. Right? By using 2 centimeters, you can represent 3 meters. So, I am converting both sides into same unit. Right? 2 centimeter and to 300 centimeters. 2 centimeter to 300. Then I have taken 2 to 300. Now I feel like this can be simplified more. Right? That means in your left hand side until you get 1. Right? In your left hand side until you get 1. Right? 1 to something. 1 to something. 1 to something. Right? So until you get 1, you have to simplify. Keep that in your mind. So example number 3 is this one. Right? Example number 3 is this one. Expressed as a ratio, the scale of a scale diagram when 4 millimeter is represented by 1 centimeter. Represented by 1 centimeter. So inside 1 centimeter, how many millimeters are there?
Thousand.
1000? 1 centimeter?
10.
10. Inside 1 centimeter, right? You have 10 millimeters, right? එහෙනම් මේ හිරුෂ හදන්න වෙනවා පත අඩි රූලක් හරිද? අර අඟල් පහලේ පොඩි අඩි රූල. හරි? මෙච්චරක තඩියක් කරන්න යනවා. හරි? 1 සෙන්ටිමීටරයක් ලොකු මෙච්චරක් විතර. හරි? කවුද හොයාගත්තේ හිරුෂ? හිරුෂ විසින් සොයාගන්න ලදී. right? Founded by හිරුෂ. හරි? මේක. So if you forget guys, may please write this one. පැත්තකින් ලියන්න. හරිද? මතක නැත්තම් ලියා ගන්න මේක. ලැජ්ජ වෙන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. හරි? Don't be shy, ලියා ගන්න. කවටක් පේන්නේ නැහැ. හරි? Right. Okay. So 4 millimeter is represented by 1 centimeter. Okay, I am changing the size. 1 centimeter here. 4 millimeter. 4 millimeter. So I am going to convert, right? So is that 4 millimeter? Yeah. Right? I am going to convert 4 millimeter, right? Millimeter into centimeters, right? Millimeter into centimeters, right? However, because my left hand side should be always 1. Left hand side should always be 1, right? So if you want to convert millimeter into centimeter, what you should do? What you should do, right? If you want to convert millimeters into centimeters, what can you do? Length measurement, length part of measurement part of Hirusha, Senula, Senoli, Bharat, Vagisha? Nevinu?
Sir, ඕක simplest form එකේම තියන්න ඕනේ.
Ah?
Sir, we should put the answer in the simplest form.
Yeah, we should put the answer in the simplest form. Before that, how do you convert millimeter into centimeters?
Multiply by 10.
Multiply by 10.
Nah, nah,
Sir, we can convert the centimeters into millimeters.
right? Yes, when you are converting centimeter into millimeter, you have to multiply. When you are converting millimeter into centimeter, what can you do?
Divide by 10.
Yeah, divide by 10. That is the other way around. Hurry. So the may right? So this is 1 centimeter, right? This is 4 millimeters. Yeah. If you want to convert it into centimeters, you are going to divide 4 by 10. Then millimeters converted into centimeters. Right? 1 centimeter equals 10 millimeter. So how do you get for 1 millimeter? Right? So here you should have 1 millimeter. Then you have to divide both sides by 10. Right? So 1 upon 10 centimeter equals 1 millimeter. Neither 1 millimeter. Now you need to find for how many milliliters? Millimeters? 4 millimeters. So you are going to multiply this side by 4. Right? That means 4 millimeters. So you same thing you need to do to this side. Multiply by 4. Then 4 divided by 10 centimeter. So 4 millimeters equal 4 divided by 10 centimeter. So this is how we are going to obtain that. Right? So if you want to convert millimeter into centimeter, you have to divide by 10. Right? If you are converting centimeter into millimeter, ලොකු එක්කෙනෙක් පොඩි එක්කෙනෙක්ට convert කරනකොට you are going to multiply. Right? ලොකු එක්කෙනා පොඩි එක්කෙනා. Big අයියා මල්ලි. Right? So when you are going to convert අයියා into මල්ලි, you are going to multiply. Right? Centimeter into millimeter, you are going to multiply by 10. When you are going to convert මල්ලි into අයියා, you are going to divide. මල්ලි into අයියා. Divide. Right? අයියා into මල්ලි multiply. මල්ලි into අයියා divide. Right? Very easy. So okay. So this is it. Right? So you can represent 4 divided by 10. What is the answer? Decimal number. What is the decimal number here? 4 divided by 10. If you divide 4 by 10, right? Right? How do you divide? By using 10. How many zeros are there? 1 zero. Right? 1 zero. How many zeros are there? 1 zero. So that 1 centimeter equals, right? 4 divided by 10. Right? By using the long division. 0, 0, 4. You have to take 4. Here you have decimal point. Take this 0 down. Now you have 40. How many tens are there? 4. Right? Or else using the trick, right? 4 divided by 10. How many zeros are there? 1 0. Right? How many zeros are there? 1 0. So your decimal point is here. Jump to 1 time less. So you will have the answer 0.4. Right? 0.4 centimeters. Right? 0.4 centimeters. So your ratio can be written as centimeter. 1 centimeter, right? No need to use centimeter because both of the units are same, into 0.4, right? 1 to 0.4. 1 to 0.4. Right? Please write this down. Clear. Or, right? If you want, right, you can represent this ratio as like this. Anyway. මේක ලියාගත්තද? පුතා මේ ලියලා ඉවරද? Did you finish writing? When it comes to example number 3, here you have small length 4 millimeters and we are going to magnify it, right? Small length, magnify, right? We are going to increase the size, right? So if you have this kind of a thing, we can use this way, as way, right? So scale can be written down as, right, like previously 1 centimeter to 4 millimeters. Right, 1 centimeter to 4 millimeters. We are using 1 centimeter to represent 4 millimeters. Right? We are using 1 centimeter to represent 4 millimeters. Right? Now, here you have 1 centimeters. And what's the relationship between millimeter and centimeter again? 1 centimeter is equal to 10 millimeter. Eh? 10 millimeter. So, I am going to convert this 1 centimeter into millimeter as well. I am going to convert this 1 centimeter into millimeter as well. So how do you convert? 1 centimeter equal to 10 millimeter. 10 millimeter. Right? And this side 4 millimeter. So multiply this by 10 so that you can obtain 1 centimeter equals 10 millimeters. 10 millimeter represent 4 millimeters. Right? 10 millimeter represent 4 millimeters. Right? That is the relationship. Right? So that is the scale. Right. Now I can write ratio. Right? When it compares the previous method, you can use this way. Right? Now you can write down the ratio. Right? 10 millimeter, right, to 4 millimeters. Right? If you want, you can remove the millimeter parts because both of them are in millimeters now. Both of them are in millimeters. Right? So 10 to 4. Can you simplify this furthermore? Right? Can you find any common factor for both of these 10 and 4? Can you find any common term for 10 and 4? Yes or no? Tell me.
2.
Yeah, 2. Right? So here 10 to 4. Right? 10 to 4. So then you are going to divide this 10 by 2 and you are going to divide this by this side by 2. So your answer will be 10 divided by 2, 5. 5 to 4 divided by 2. Right? 5 to 2. So your answer will be 5 to 2. Right? So you cannot simplify furthermore after this one. You cannot simplify furthermore after this one. Right? 5 to 2. So your ratio should be 5 to 2. Right? Final ratio. So the example number 4. 2 millimeter is represented by 1 centimeter. So I can write 1 centimeter here, scale. By using 1 centimeter, I am going to represent 2 millimeters. Right? I am going to magnify. Right? By using 1 centimeter, I am going to represent 2 millimeters. So easily I can convert this centimeter into millimeter. Right? Easily I can convert this centimeter into millimeter by using this relationship. 1 centimeter contains 10 millimeters. Right? 1 centimeter contains 10 millimeters. Right? So this side 1 centimeter can be converted into 10 millimeters by you like this. 1 centimeter directly equals to 10 millimeter. So this one also 2 millimeters. So now both of the sides are in same unit. Both of the sides are in same unit. Right? Millimeter, millimeter. Right? Millimeter, millimeter. Right? Right. So now I can, now this is in millimeter, this is in also in millimeter. So now I can use the ratio, right? 10 to 2. 10 to 2. Right? Now, are there any common factors that you can find for 10 and 2? Are there any common factors that you can find for 10 and 2? Right? So you can divide 10 and 2 by number 2. Right? So I am going to divide 10 by 2. Right? And 2 by 2. Right? So both numbers can be divided by 2. So 10 divided by 2, 5. 2 divided by 2, 1. So your ratio should be 5 to 1. So don't write the other way. Right? Keep this format. 5 to 1 now. Right? No need to put 1 at the left side. Right? Left side taking no need to put 1. Right? So you have to keep like this. 5 to 1. Right? Because you are magnifying, right? Because you are magnifying. You are going to magnify your answer, right? Okay. Small length, you are going to represent it in bigger mode, right? Bigger mode. So 1 centimeter you use for 2 millimeters. So Buddha, this should be your final answer, 5 to 1. Right? Okay. So guys, if you finish ready, let's do some conversions, right? Exercise 27.1, right? Exercise 27.1. Try to obtain the answers for the things that I am going to mark. In a way, do A, right, and do B, do D, right? Okay, only those three, right? Always try to convert into same unit, right? And always try to convert it to the small unit, right? When it compares to meter and centimeter, the small unit is centimeter. So convert this meter into centimeter, right? For the part D, right? For the part D, you have millimeter and centimeter. What is the small unit? Millimeter. So convert centimeter into millimeter, right? Convert centimeter into millimeter, small one, right? So by you comparing millimeter and centimeter, you can find millimeter is the small unit So convert this centimeter into millimeter. Right? So then you can find the ratio. Right? So when you compare meter and centimeter, what is the small unit? The small unit is centimeter. So convert meter into centimeter. That is how we are going to do. Right? Please do this A, B, and D. I want to see who finishes first. After you finish, send me done. Send me D. D kya? Ivaruna. So I have written them in the board, right? Part A now, focus on the board, stop the work, right? Focus on the board, stop the work, right? Now try to catch the pattern that I am doing, right? Representing 20 centimeter by using 1 centimeter. So 1 centimeter is represented, right? Sorry, 20 centimeters is represented by using 1 centimeter. So both are in centimeter, centimeter. So done. Correct. This is nothing to do. So your ratio can be written as 1 to 20 directly. So this should be your first answer. Correct. Both are in centimeter and centimeter. So nothing to worry. 1 to 20. Right? You cannot simplify this furthermore. Make a sulu. So you have to keep your answer like this. Okay. Representing 8 meters by 2 centimeters. 8 meters by 2 centimeters. So by using 2 centimeters, you are going to represent 8 meters. Eight meters. So what is the Malli? How the Malli? Meter or centimeters? Malli is centimeter. So I am going to convert meter into centimeter. So what is the relationship between meters and centimeters? 1 meter equals 100 centimeter. Ne? If 1 meter equals to 100 centimeter, 8 meter equals 800 centimeters. Ne? You have to multiply this by 100. Right? So 2 centimeter represents 800 centimeters. So how do you write this as a ratio now? Right? 2 to 800. 2 to 800. Right? So you have converted this meter into same Malli. Right? Malli is this way. So this is Aya. Aya should be converted to Malli. Right? Very easy. Right? 2 to 800. So you can simplify this furthermore. So divide. So I am going to use here. Then so 2 to 800. Right? 2 divided by 2. 800 divided by 2. So 2 divided by 2, 1. 800 divided by 2, 400. So 1 to 400. So that is it. By using 1 centimeter, you are going to represent 400 centimeters. Means 4 meters. So part T. Representing 1 millimeter by using 5 centimeters. By using 5 centimeters, I am going to represent 1 millimeter. Magnify. Look karno. Magnify. Right? Vishal Vega. And by using 5 centimeters, I am going to represent only 1 millimeter. 1 millimeter. Now, who is the Malli? How the Malli? Centimeter or millimeter? Tell me. Centimeter or millimeter? Kiana. How the Malli? Centimeter or millimeter?
Millimeter.
Millimeter. So here you have centimeter, meter, convert it into Malli, millimeter. So centimeter, how do you convert centimeter into millimeter? Right? Inside 1 centimeter, you have 10 millimeters. Ne? You are going to multiply centimeter by 10. right? Centimeter by 10, so that you can obtain millimeters, right? So if you have inside 1 centimeter 10 millimeter, then 5 centimeters 50 millimeters, right? Multiply it by 5, maybe 5 by 10, 50 millimeter, right? Malli malli, right? Both are in malli now. Now you can write both are in same, right? 50 to 1. There is no any other common terms for these two terms, neither. 50 to 1. So this should be your answer. This should be your answer. Right? Okay. So උදා මේ මම මෙතනින් ඉවර කරනවා, right? So it is 8:35 නේ. හරිද? So I am going to wind up the session from here. Guys, in next week also